Air freight cargo has had a lot of changes throughout the past year in Grand Theft Auto Online. First of all, the payout was increased by quite a substantial amount, now giving you over $2.55 million on a full payout. Not only that, but we have Rooster Macro, who can source us crates in the background for some extra cash, and there are new missions and sale missions. So there's a lot of things that have been changed on air freight cargo. In today's video, I'll not only be talking about the money that you can make with this business, I'll be talking about all the missions, the sale missions, but just about everything you need to know to hopefully get the best idea if air freight cargo is worth it. Let's get straight into it. Let's start off with sourcing these crates. You're going to have at your disposal two types of missions you can start. You have air missions and land missions. Now, to what I've checked out, there are 6 air missions that you can get unique of, and there are 4 land missions. When it comes to the air missions, they're pretty simple, but a couple of them can be tedious. The first one we're taking a look at here is perform stunts to reveal the cargo. This one is really easy, and it's probably one of my favorites. You're literally just going to take the plane they spawn you, or get your own plane out, fly underneath a couple bridges, and just like that, you're done. The next mission we have is probably the easiest of them all, and this is search an area for a crashed Maverick. So as you can see, we have a crashed Maverick inside of a little lake here, and once you find it, you have to just take the chemicals. This is by far one of the easiest missions. You can either use the helicopter they spawn you, or again, call in your own vehicle. I usually like to call in my own vehicle for these. We can see here I'm using my F-160 Raiju for the next mission. This one's pretty easy. You just have to destroy signal jammers around the map. It can be a bit tedious, because you do literally have to fly around the map to complete the mission. You can see I've destroyed one jammer, but the next one's near Mount Chiliad, and then another one's in the city, and another one's in Sandy Shores. So they're spread across the map, kind of annoying. I definitely wouldn't say that's my favorite mission. Next air mission we have is probably the easiest one of the bunch. You're literally just going to kill a bunch of people in a hangar. This can either be available to start in Grapeseed or the Sandy Shores hangar. You're just going to kill a bunch of people and then literally steal the plane inside of the hangar. Now, if you want, you can actually blow up the plane and just steal the crate out of it and then leave in your own vehicle, but it's usually just faster to take the plane and deliver it over to the hangar. The next one we have is pretty easy. You're just going to blow a bunch of people up. This one's really, really easy, especially if you get out an aircraft. You can see here I'm using the Deluxa, which just blows everything up in front of me, but you're just going to blow up all the vehicles and all the crates, and then once you do that, the cargo is going to be shown on the map. One of the more annoying missions is one where you have to destroy a bunch of Merryweather jets. Not only does this one take quite a bit of time because you have to track down these jets in either an F-160 Raiju or something that's really fast, but then you have to take down like 8 or even 10 of them in a couple swarms to actually figure out which one has the supplies in it. This mission isn't very hard. The jets barely ever hit you with the missiles, and even if they do, they don't blow you up if you're in a decently armored plane or something like that. It's just really annoying and tedious to complete this mission. The final mission we have has to do with rendezvousing with a Titan and then escorting it 30,000 feet across the map. This mission alone is why air sources are the worst. A couple of them are lame. As I said, the jammer one's pretty bad. It's going to take you a bit of time to do that, probably 5 minutes at minimum. But rendezvousing with the Titan is always going to take you at least 10 minutes. It is by far the worst one. So what I would suggest is if you ever do air missions and you don't want to deal with this mission, do what I'm doing, which is scroll through your interaction menu until you find your hangar as the spawn location and literally just go into a new session and ignore that one. You're gonna have to wait a small cooldown to start up the next source, but it's way faster than doing that mission. Next up, we arrive at land missions. There are 4 of them in total. One of them is incredibly tedious and a massive waste of time, and the other 3 are pretty easy and super fast. What I find quite ironic about the land missions is even though Rockstar wants you to use actual vehicles that have 4 wheels and stay on the ground, it's way faster to complete these missions with flying vehicles. As you can see, I'm using my F-160 Raiju for this mission. And speaking of the first mission, this one is incredibly easy. We're going to fly over to Sandy Shores Airfield, and then Rooster Macro is going to call you on the phone and say, "God damn it, my plane got shot down by some people, and now you got to go find the crate." And that's exactly what we're doing here. We just got to search the area for the crate after killing people. Pretty dang easy. The next next one we have is definitely the worst of the bunch. As you can see, I was actually testing if I could blow up the trailer, because for some of the missions you can actually just blow up the vehicle, steal the crate out of it, and deliver it back at your hangar. But when it comes to this mission, you actually have to make your way all the way over to whatever the allotted destination is. This one is literally in the other side of the map in the city. Then you're going to grab a truck, whether it's a Phantom Wedge or the vehicle they want you to use, and you're going to bring it all the way back to the city. That mission sucks, it's a waste of time, and if you get it, I just suggest to skip it. This next one is pretty easy. We're going to go onto a barge, kill a bunch of people, steal an Avisa, and grab the chemicals under the water. This should only take you like 3 or 4 minutes to complete. It took me a while the first time I did it, but after the first try, it was pretty dang easy. The final one we have is definitely the easiest of the bunch. You're going to look for a generator, you're going to break the generator, you're going to grab the chemicals, and then you go back to the hangar. I mean, it's just that simple. So some of the missions are easy, some of them are kind of painful. Overall, I'd be willing to say the land missions are a bit better and faster to complete. Like, sure, the one with the trailer is a bit tedious, but apart from that one, the other 3 are really dang easy and super fast. And even if you get the trailer one, there's only like a 30% chance you're going to get the spawn location that is all the way in the city. For the most part, land missions are really easy, and yeah, that's what I'd suggest to do. After completing any of these missions and delivering your goods, you are going to have to wait a 4-minute cooldown. It's a bit unfortunate, and it definitely takes away a lot of the fun when doing these missions, but that is something I thought I would mention. As well, if you do get any vehicles carrying your goods, for example, you can see here there's a brigade that says take the chemicals. You have 2 options. You can either kill the driver of the brigade and drive it all the way back over to your hangar. If you have 4 people and it's 4 crates, then yeah, killing the driver of the brigade is way faster because you can deliver all 4 crates at once. But if you're a solo player, just blow the vehicle up and grab the chemicals or whatever you have out of it. Now let's talk materials, because materials can actually greatly impact how much money you're going to be making. For example, if you're sourcing counterfeit goods, tobacco, jewelry, art, or animal supplies, you're going to be making a lot less money than if you're sourcing medical, chemicals, or narcotics. For example, counterfeit goods and tobacco are going to be making you $2.25 million if you fill the warehouse to 50 crates. Compare that to medical supplies, chemicals, or narcotics, you're losing out on $300,000 of profit, as they're going to be making $2.55 million. The missions are slightly harder for the better supplies, but just do them. They're not hard missions at all. Even a beginner would get used to them within the first day or 2 of sourcing crates. So now that we've got out of the way what crates you should be sourcing, the next thing is how many crates should you be sourcing, and quite simply put, just fill the warehouse to the max. If you see the example in front of you, we have 49 crates in the warehouse, and with 49 crates, I'm going to be making around $1.8 million with a 35% bonus. If I get the final crate to slot into 50, it's going to go up to a 70% bonus. So it's going to almost double the amount of money I'm making from 1.8 mil to almost 2.6. So make sure, if you're doing air freight cargo, you max your warehouse out before you do a sale mission. So at this point, you might be asking, okay, this is all cool, but how much money am I going to make with air freight cargo as a solo player? Because I would be willing to say the majority of Grand Theft Auto Online grinders are probably solo at this point, doing the Cayo Perico heist or the Dr. Dre agency VIP missions. Well, I got bad news for you. You're not going to be making a lot of money. And when I say not going to be making a lot of money, only like $300,000 an hour. Let's say that you obviously got the 4-minute cooldown each time you source a crate, and you pair that with 6 minutes on average to do each mission. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. So let's say in total, it's taking you 10 minutes each source. Well, if we do that math and we do 50 sources, because obviously we have to fill up the entire hangar, 10 minutes a pop, that's going to be 500 minutes. If we then divide that by 60, it's going to be 8.33 hours just by that calculation to fill your entire warehouse. I rounded it down to 8 hours, being a little generous, and yeah, you're going to be making about $318,000 an hour if you're selling solo lobbies. If you do a public lobby sale mission and you get that 50% extra cash bonus with the high demand bonus, you're going to be making $478,000 an hour. Compare that to the, well, around $2 million you can make an hour doing the Cayo Perico heist and agency method, and yeah, that's bad. That's really, really bad. Finally, we arrive at the sale mission. Now you have two options when it comes to making money. You can sell in a solo lobby and make 2.55 million, or you can sell in a public lobby and make upwards of $3.75 million. That's a massive increase, in fact a 50% bonus. Personally, I would say that if you can find a stable lobby with over 20 people, to do it in a public session, especially because if we do the new land sale missions, you're always going to get a solo vehicle. But for today's sake, we're going to be doing it in a solo lobby just because I've had some troubles getting into a public lobby as it is. So let's see what the mission is. As we can see, there's a truck on the map already for us to use. So all we need to do is return our personal vehicle to our storage and call in the Phantom Wedge. And now all we have to do is get the trailer. At this point, it is just super simple. Now, to be fair, you don't need to use the Phantom Wedge, especially if you're in a solo lobby. It's just super simple as it is, so you don't even need to do this. But either way, we're going to use the Phantom Wedge and make our way over to the destination. Now, because we're in a lobby with literally nobody in it, all we're going to do is make our way over there. And just like that, we completed the sale mission. We made $2.52 million. We lost about $30,000 due to the fact that the trailer does get damaged, and AI will shoot at it while making her way there, which is a bit annoying, not gonna lie. But still, that's $2.5 million we made for a simple 3-minute delivery. Overall, air cargo is definitely not something I would say that is great, but the sale missions are incredibly easy. To finish off today's video, there's one last way that you can make money with air freight cargo, and that is Rooster Macro. You can see him all the way in the corner over here. You can pay Rooster Macro $25,000 to go source you a crate. This is exactly like Lupe and the assistance you'll have over inside your special cargo, but this time it's for air freight cargo. He has a 25% chance to bring you back 2 crates and a 75% chance to bring you back 1 crate. Overall, it's actually the most effective way you'll make money with air freight cargo. Now, if you plan on sourcing, I wouldn't suggest to use him because he's going to source you random crates every single time, which means you're not going to get that 70% bonus. However, if you do use him correctly and you just have him in the background filling up your crates, you can sell it whenever you want because you don't really get that 30% or 70% bonus, and you'll probably make a bit of extra cash on the side without actually having to do anything. So, unironically, the worst way to make money with air freight cargo is actually the most efficient because I wouldn't suggest to do air freight cargo ever as a solo player. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below because this video did take quite a bit of effort and time to put together. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.